I've been noticing something with a lot of women, especially the ones that are capable, and it feels like you're doing everything right. And from the outside, your life probably looks pretty damn good. You probably have a good relationship, you have a good job, you have the family, you have the things that you thought or that you were, or society teaches us will make you feel fulfilled, but yet something still feels off. It might feel like this nagging feeling that there's something missing, there's something more. You probably can't even explain what's happening because nothing is glaringly obvious that's wrong. It's just this underlying feeling of, why am I not genuinely happy? Why do I not feel fulfilled in the way that I thought that I would? Why does every day I wake up and I just feel exhausted and feel like stress for no reason? This is super common with women who have always strived to be the best and to hold everything together and to make sure that everybody around you is taken care of. And you get to this place where it's like, I don't want to say feeling resentful, but it can show up in the body feeling that way. But a lot of the time, what these women come to me saying is like, maybe I'm just overthinking. Maybe I just need to be more grateful. Maybe this is what life is supposed to feel like. And you stay and you keep going and you keep trying. A lot of these women have done like tons of courses and read all of the self-help books and probably gone to therapy. They think that they're the problem, that there's something wrong with them because they simply can't feel good or feel fulfilled in this beautiful life that they've created. Through the work that we do together, they start to understand that your body already knows that something isn't right, but there's a disconnect between your brain, your logical thinking, and what your body is communicating because we're taught, we're trained to have that disconnect because that is how you become successful. That is how you become able to juggle the job, the family, the other like friendships and outside commitments is by being disconnected. And this will show up a lot as like anxiety, tension, like I know for me, I carry a lot of tension in my shoulders and my neck, and it's like, ugh. When I was going through this myself, it's like tension headaches every day, right? Restlessness, the way that I would describe it is like everything on the outside looks amazing, but inside it just feels like dread. It feels like "Ugh, I just don't want to do this, right? But then your mind takes over and is hypocritical of yourself and the thoughts that you're thinking. And, you just need to push through. You just need to work on yourself. You just need to be more grateful, right? All of these things. It's a tricky space to be in, but it's not difficult to shift out of. Right? The hardest part is recognizing what is happening, having that awareness. And once you have the awareness, it becomes much simpler to shift out of. The hardest part isn't figuring out what to do, it's being honest with yourself about what you already feel, what is happening in your body. We're trained to be so disconnected from our body, from our intuition, from this inner pull that we have as people, but as women specifically, and we override it. Okay, I'm just going to say it. This is where a lot of physical symptoms can manifest themselves because we're denying it, and your body is just going to keep screaming louder and louder and louder until you start to listen. So, this makes manifestation more difficult and more complicated than it needs to be. And how this shows up is you're doing everything right in manifestation, and yet either you receive what it is that you wanted or you don't, right? I see this a lot in dating, but also in money. I'm like, which example do I want to use here? They either get the thing that they wanted and it's not, they don't experience it how they had hoped, or they just can't simply do it. So, for an example, for me, the way that this showed up was with more money, where it was like, I I try like I worked with a lot of coaches and I did so much internal work. And what I actually needed to shift was who I was being, but also what I was trying to manifest was not what my body actually wanted. So what I wanted to manifest was a bigger business and way more clients and all of this stuff. But what my body wanted was way more rest, to take time and rest and regulate and learn to be way more attuned to what my body is asking of me. And once I shifted that, it was like the money was able to come in a much easier way than I could have ever dreamed of. But it was like I spent years trying to manifest it in a certain way. And it's not that that can't happen. It's just that wasn't what my body, that's not what my soul, that's not what I was actually meant to do. And so calling it in that way just felt so fucking hard because my body was resisting it every step of the fucking way. But I was disconnected, so I couldn't see that that was the missing piece. That was what was happening. And a lot of times in this work, it's difficult to see that for yourself because we're in it. And this is why having a coach, having somebody that can sense your patterns and sense the energy around you and what is actually going on can be super helpful and help you shift it much more quickly. You're not the only one, right? Like this is not a unique experience. This is something that is easy to shift once you understand what is actually happening. Because if you are continuously being disconnected and not regulated as well, it will be, I don't want to say painful because it's not that it's like painful, but it's uncomfortable, right? It will be super uncomfortable because what you are being and what you are receiving won't match up. And it's, to be honest, it's fucking frustrating. It's super frustrating. So this is exactly the type of work that I help women do. We take time and slow down and actually learn to, I hate this word, but be in alignment with all of our bodies, right? The physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, and the spiritual body. And that is how you actually are able to not just manifest, call in the life of your dreams, but to actually receive it and hold it and experience it the way that you are meant to, and in a way that is sustainable. So I will see you in the next video.